We're over here conniving. I know, right? I love these screens. This is what I have at mine is bigger than this.
Camera won't see us.
Right? Oh, I love them. This is what I have at home, so you can have up 3 different things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I usually have 6 things open at once, and just up and down, up and down, up and down all day long. I love it. I got one at work and one at home, and I have a laptop, and I just come home, plug it in, go to work, plug it in. And now I'm putting everybody in my office on that. Board meeting. I want a CAC. Elite. Like it. I have not. Well, you want me to text her? See Dave up there. Yep. Us short people need like booster seat. Get a booster seat? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Hey, so did Lois say anything about that? Oh. Okay. Mr. Williams. Okay.
I'd like to call our regularly scheduled meeting of the Citizen Advisory Committee to order for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, 3 p.m. I'd like to start with our roll call, please. Amanda.
Mr. Merzen, and he's joining us via Zoom. Ms. Ritz. Mr. Brown. Here. Dr. D'Annunzio.
Here.
Mr. Perkins.
Here.
Chairman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Kimball.
Here.
Ms. Campbell.
Here.
Ms. Cromartie.
Here.
Mr. Kirschner.
Here.
And Mr. Stevens.
Here. Okay, great. We've asked Ms. Cromartie to lead us in the invocation and the pledge. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, our King of Kings, our Lord of Lords, we thank you so much for another day, another opportunity to come together and do that which is pleasing unto you. We ask and pray that you continue to guide us and lead us, that we may do what is right. We ask these and many other blessings in your Son, Jesus' name. We pray. Amen. Amen.
Republic.
Thank you. And we move to the adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion? It's moved by Mrs. Campbell, seconded by Mr. Kimball. Adoption of our agenda for today. Are there any questions? Additions? Questions or additions, please. If no questions or additions, please vote. you. Not allowing you to vote. Have some technical difficulty.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
while at least helping Mr. Brown, just to kind of fill the empty space.
great.
Just a reminder, obviously you've all noticed the nice large screens you have in place of what we had before. That's because we are in a transition to new agenda software. Right now, we have been using PrimeGov, and as you know, we've had some challenges and frustrations with them, not only during meetings, but quite frankly, behind the scenes, staff has had some frustrations as well. So we're moving on to Civic Plus, and as you know, we have some scheduled training afterwards. Part of the reason for this large screen is you'll see when we get to the training session that we'll have multiple windows open, having different bits of information. That's the reason for the larger real estate than what we had before.
What size screen is this?
Don't know.
32, I think.
34, thank you.
Nice.
Okay, Mr. Brown, technical issues are worked out? Okay, great. Amanda, I have to look in front of me. The adoption agenda passes by a vote of 11-0. Thank you. We proceeding to Delta and open forum. I have no pink slips, nor do I see any visitors in the audience, so we will proceed to our presentations. And we have a presentation today on AI, automation, and innovation, elevating the customer experience. And I should know your name by now, and I apologize because I wanted to say it correctly.
Hamid Razay, Director of Information Technology.
Absolutely. Thank you, Hammond. Okay, you have the mic.
All right, first I just want to say thank you for having me this afternoon. I'm super excited to show you some insight on the projects we've been working on here this past year and a half. We've really been focusing on trying to improve customer service and sanitation workflows with technology, and then also making the customer experience a bit more efficient and using technology to do that as well. So I'm going to go through some projects and kind of give you a status on where we're at on them, and just give you an idea of why we chose to move forward with these projects. The first thing we're working on is a custom kiosk for customer service. I don't know if you know, right now when you come into the building, there's no way to make a credit card payment. So we do have customers that come in that would like to be able to pay with a credit card. So right now we've worked with Howard Technologies to develop a custom kiosk. That part of it's ready. We're just working out some kinks with InfoSend, our billing provider. But the idea is they'll be able to come in, it'll be custom content on the screen. They'll be able to pay their bill with a credit card or use cash. There will be no change if you want to make a cash transaction. Then you'll also be able to see educational content on the screen. With that being said, with this being a custom build, we'll be in complete control of what's on the screen. So in the future, if we want to make modifications or change the usage, or if something, use some AI tools to help customers, it's fully custom. It's also very sleek and nice looking, so we're super excited about this. We estimate that this will be ready in about 3 months. So, and when this goes well and we get a good proof of concept on it, we do plan on potentially putting another one of these, somewhere like sanitation for customers that might be more convenient to go to that location to pay their bill, and then also potentially putting one in the drive-through so somebody could just pull up and pay their bill with a credit card. ECUA chatbot. So we actually have this live on the website now. This was internally developed using JavaScript, which allows us to control the knowledge base and make modifications in-house, so we completely control all of the data. So basically, this chatbot will answer any questions about ECUA. It does not scrape the web. All of the knowledge inside this chatbot comes from knowledge that we've inputted. So from here, we'll be able to allow the customers, in particular younger generations that like to use chatbots, they'll be able to have, ECUA-based conversations with it. They'll be able to do, find out, information about the board members or anything about ECUA. They'll also be able to request a bulk pickup. They'll be able to pay their bill. Pretty much any ECUA service you can think of, they'll at least be able to start it here. Some services, they'll be able to take it all the way through. Just a really convenient way for people to learn more about ECUA and inquire about services. Another benefit of this is we'll be able to get insights on capturing the data that the customers put in. So maybe there's things we don't know about that customers are asking. So we'll be able to capture that and get insight on what customers are looking for. The next thing I'd like to tell you about is Cognos AI Analytics and Reporting. This is actually one of my favorite projects. So this is an AI-assisted reporting tool that we've implemented in-house that is a companion to our Naviline Customer Information Systems database. And this will allow us to build real-time dashboards, create executive-style reports, and identify trends in our data. If there's an abnormal amount of people that are late on their bill or are requesting a bulk pickup, there'll be real-time dashboards. And it's modern, sleek and easy to use. So if there's data that needs to be fetched or a report that somebody needs frequently, they'll be able to have this at their fingertips. It's just URL based. It's all on-prem, and it syncs with all of our customer information. But right now, before we implemented this, there was really no reporting method like custom with our database. So we would just rely on SQL queries and creating Excel dashboards, and in some cases even screenshots of data when somebody needed it. So this provides that executive touch and really gives you, some AI assistance to uncover data-driven insights and help make sure you're making the right decision if it's dependent on data. And this will be available to any staff. Any staff that needs information about our customers will have this, as a shortcut on their desktop. We've also implemented a new tool. One thing that's currently lacking in our database, our customer information database, is an address validator. We all know there are times where, there's a lot of pressure on some of these customer service calls, or, customers can, fat finger things like that. So you end up with some incorrect addresses in the database, and that can cause a lot of friction with the customers. It can cause mail to get returned. It causes friction when the customer calls back and we don't have the right data. And then it'll also really help integration with GIS to get all of our data cleaned. So we have launched this product, and we have launched Cognos as well. We're just in the final training stages on the data quality service. But when this is fully integrated, which it will be, I would say in probably about less than a month, we will have a back-end address validation that will run probably about once a week that will make sure that all of our addresses are correct. So we are also officially on the hunt for a more modern communications platform. Our current on-prem phone system works very well, but it is going end of life in the next 5 years and potentially end of life, end of support in under 10 years. There's also rumors that the Mitel corporation is going bankrupt. So we are on the hunt for a potential replacement. The system we use now uses what's called SIP trunks and things like that. So it's like a digital phone solution. The newer modern phone systems just use the internet backbone, so they're a lot more AI friendly, a lot more customizable. And then each one of the agents or the agent software comes with voice, video, messaging, any of those tools all built into one. And it'd also be seamless. So for example, if somebody wants to work at home, they don't have to worry about taking that phone home or using a VPN. They'll be able to log into their same exact software right on their phone. So it may help, keep some people around the customer service that are getting burned out. Let them go home, work on their tablet for a couple weeks. The metrics are greatly enhanced on these apps because it's all completely digitally based. There's also AI coaching tools that work with them that can sense the customer's responses. And then also it can automatically pop up information. Like for example, the customer's inquiring about bulk pickup. So the AI senses the word bulk pickup and will automatically pop up all of the relevant information about bulk pickups for the rep. So the idea is we'll be able to get reps on the phone quicker and they'll be a lot more confident because they'll have a knowledge base that just pops the information right up when they need it. We've seen this in action with several different products. There's also real-time call transcription and recording. Right now we do record some calls and retain them for 6 months, but there are still times where recordings on this older phone system can get lost. There's no transcribing. So with every call being transcribed, we can go back and study and see where calls went wrong, see where conversations could have been handled better, things like that. It basically allows us to capture all the knowledge gained from every single phone call right at our fingertips. There's also training tools that the AI will assist in. For example, at the end of the day, if an agent struggled on a particular topic, the AI will sense it and coach them and said, hey, here's some knowledge on bulk pickups or miscanned pickups, things like that. So there's a lot of really neat features to the newer cloud platforms. We will most likely, I would suggest, go to a hybrid approach though. We wouldn't want to go all cloud. When the cloud goes down, you lose everything. So we would have lines still on-prem, but we would just have hybrid agents for the call center. So we would still be able to take calls if the cloud, if there was some type of catastrophic fiber tear or if Amazon Web Services went down, we would still be able to take calls. We would just lose the AI agents or the software. So we wouldn't lose full capabilities. We would just lose the newer technology. And we've kind of narrowed it down between Ring Central, Dialpad, and TalkDesk. We've been working with Cox, our communications provider, so it'll still be a local solution. We'll get that local feel, local account manager. We'll still get the phone lines through Cox, and then they will be our support on whichever cloud platform we choose. So it'll be like a full hybrid approach, but we'll still get that local feel and be able to have, local support come in if we need it. So before we get into the mobile app, I just wanted to talk a minute about Recycle Coach, which is our current mobile app. I believe it was renamed Greenwise. This is a great app that was released many years ago by ECUA. The app's designed to educate users on recycling, and the app's really designed nationwide to give people their recycling schedules and sanitation pickup schedules. That was how the app took off. So what happened when ECUA acquired this app, it worked out really great for that purpose. But when we tried to customize the app and add features, it was a no-go on their developers' end because they were like, this is not that type of platform. We're not just going to let you come in and rearrange our tables or customize. They did allow us to brand it, but in order to integrate with our work order system, those tables have to be flexible. We have to be able to manipulate the database on the app's end. So when the user inputs it, it seamlessly transitions into our work order system. So that's where we're Cycle Coach. That's kind of where we hit a dead end. It's still a strong app for educational purposes, and it does provide links, so I wouldn't call it a total loss. But due to basically a dead end on development, we did move forward with a customizable platform through Civic Plus. So we are working on developing this right now, and it's basically a blank slate. We'll be in full control of development. Whatever we want to do with the app, we can do it. We've already begun development. So I just want to kind of go through some of these features because there's a lot of features coming out on this app. So it will be fully branded, ECUA, customized ECUA logo. It will be on iPhone and Google Play. Obviously, we'll have the direct link to bill pay. We've already integrated it successfully with our GIS maps. With that being said, we already have a geofence, which means somebody won't be able to get on the app and request something if they're not in our geofence. So it'll already sense service locations. And then also, another benefit of integrating with GIS is, say there's a big sewer leak. We can flag that on the app with with like a pointer or a flag on the map where it's very visible to everybody. And then that way, that should reduce the calls to SCADA and educate the users that, hey, this app's been reported, ECUA's got it under control, we don't need to call SCADA, we know they're working on it. And it's built in with customer relationship management software, which means you can actually interact with the customers and keep them up to date on issues, for example, and they'll see status changes automatically. So if I request a bulk pickup on the app, it'll be in progress, and then when it's completed, it'll show complete, or if there was a problem, you'll be able to see each of the statuses as they complete. As I just went over, all important, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just
Go
a
ahead, I
minute.
think Chuck was.
Yeah, I thought we might wait till the end, but, okay.
It was just specific about what you were talking about. So with that GIS thing, like, would it be able to notify people in that, like, so if there is a boil water notice, it'll notify them?
Yeah, for people that have signed up with the app, that have accounts, if they're in that area and there's an emergency, you can set it to notify everybody in that area.
So this is great for us too, because if a customer calls us, we don't have to call Brian and figure out what's going on. We have to look on here and see.
Yeah, you'll see if it's been reported.
Yeah.
You'll see the status. There'll be conditional formatting on the pins on the map. So you'll see when it's been completed. You'll also see if there's additional events that have happened in that area. And for each request, you can actually turn this on, these pins, but obviously we don't want to do it for like a missed can, or the whole map would be flooded with pins. But we will do it for big events like
Yeah.
sewer leaks and things like that.
Who's going to be responsible to keep this updated?
From a technical aspect, IT, and then the content will be working with the communications team.
Okay, thank you.
Again, so we're going to empower the users with location-specific insights down to 10 meters. They'll get proactive alerts, as you mentioned, when there's a big event, which will greatly enhance the customer experience. They will be able to submit service requests anytime, anywhere. It's a 311 click fix. I don't know if anybody's seen one of the bigger cities apps. They have the 311 C-click fix. That will be ingrained into this software. For some of the requests, we'll be able to automatically create a work order in our work order system. For the ones that we can't, they will automatically notify customer service that, this request was made. So there's real-time tracking and updates, which I think will help build a lot of transparency and trust with the public. Internally, those requests will automatically get routed to the department. Like if it's sanitation, it's going straight to sanitation. So, for example, we've already developed I keep using bulk pickup because that's one of my favorites because we worked really hard on that one, but we've already developed a web-based form that will allow somebody to request a bulk pickup, and it will automatically create a work order in our system. We're still working out some kinks, but for the most part, we've actually already had people use this feature. So the work order is automatically created. So now, instead of having to call the call center, wait in the queue, request that bulk pickup. Now you can just do it, a few clicks at your fingertip. So we're very, very excited about automating some of those basic requests. Again, it's fully branded. It's going to be ECUA's app, not Recycle Coach's app. Every request is logged, time-stamped, and tracked. So there's also escalation procedures you can assign to each department. So if the request goes unmonitored or there's been no response for, say I want to set it at 3 days, then it will notify that department's supervisor, hey, this request hasn't been interacted with in a few days. Here's some pictures of San Francisco's. I just want to give you, I really wanted you to see that map where you can place the pins. Again, that'll be geofenced. It's already, all that work is already done. The camera feature, which I really love, so it automatically allows you to take pictures with your phone's default camera and automatically uploads them into the system. If you look at that third app over. So if you see something on the road, let's just say there's a sewer leak, you could take a picture, something like that, automatically goes into the system. And if you look at the second picture there, you see all those selections available. So this is fully customizable. So we'll be able to do, whatever we can think of. We're completely future-proof now. We'll be able to add whatever feature we want to add. So those web forms that we've developed, and these are ready to go. These are well, let me just back up 1 second. So the mobile app, we're probably looking at about 4 to 6 months for a full launch. We've already got about 2 months in it with development. We've got a lot of the hard stuff done. Now it's just the, the fabricating and the cosmetic stuff. But what was really tough was the integrations and APIs and things like that. But we've made it past that part. So we're very close. I would say about 4 to 6 months, potentially even sooner. So these 3 web forms we've identified as some of our 3 basic but yet frequent requests that we'd like to be able to automate without somebody having to call the call center. Bulk pickup, repair can, and missing can. These are already linked to our website and the chatbot. We haven't done any marketing on the chatbot because we've done so much fine tuning, but it is on the website. Okay, so we are going to do marketing on that to let everybody know it's there. We just wanted to make sure we got it right because, with things like chatbots and apps, if you push them out too soon and people, if you're not ready for people to really start using them, they can get a bad taste in their mouth and then they won't ever use them again. So we've really put a lot of work and many hours into this chatbot, but those are already linked to the website. And then when the mobile app's launched, obviously it'll be linked to that too. So when these forms are filled out, a work order is automatically created in our system. So no customer service intervention unless there's an issue. So this will allow customer service to focus on more sophisticated problems and not just scheduling a bulk pickup. So, some of the benefits of integrating these online web forms with our work order system, basically it's seamless, straight from the public, right into our work order system, directly linked to our website. It'll be linked to the chatbot. Customer and call center relief on both ends. I think, for something like a missed can pickup or a can repair, I really don't want to have to wait 20 minutes in the queue on a Monday morning to let them know that they missed my can. I'll just be a matter of seconds. I'll be able to report it, get a work order number, then it'll be handled on my next pickup day or sooner. There's a lot of benefits to having these automated tasks. And it'll allow customer service to focus on, people have more sophisticated issues and hopefully clear up the queue some and take a lot less pressure off of them. So another project we're working on, shifting back to AI. So when you really want to integrate AI, the first thing you have to do is build that core engine. It's the first step, okay? So we have begun talks on building a core engine. So the core engine is like building your AI bot. And then from there, once the core engine is built, you can train it to do stuff, handle tasks, do things in your system. So this is the first step we've started. So the initial thing we're trying to do is create an AI answering. Somebody that will, if somebody's been in the queue too long, this AI bot will take the call take a message. Once we prove that concept, then we'll start building off of that. Now the AI bot will, we'll be able to do a lot of the same things we were able to do with those forms. So there will always be the option to go back to a human. That's the number one thing we're programming into it. If somebody says human or backup, they'll go right back in the queue. But for those that are comfortable speaking, instead of, if it's something like a missed can or, a bulk pickup, if you're comfortable with scheduling that with an AI operator, that you will have that option. So we're probably about 6 to 8 months away on the engine. And then once the engine gets built, we'll be able to build off of that engine. The engine will be ours. So it's a one-time build. And this engine will be assigned a phone number, right? So you'll put that phone number in your queue to pick up if somebody's been in the regular queue too long. Basically kind of how that works. Simplified.
So initially, I make a phone call to customer service. I'm going to get a person. I have to then dial a separate number to get the AI.
No, sir. The way it works, because we're trying to use a hybrid approach on our phone system, instead of going to an all cloud or an all internal like we have now, we're going to do a hybrid. So the way to kind of cheat the system on a hybrid approach is assign that AI operator a phone number and then put him in your queue. You know how you have a queue like a rolling call tree? It'll go to the agent or it'll go to the AI operator if it's been more than 10 minutes. So right now we have that queue set to go to an really old school, outdated answering service that's expensive, very, very expensive. It's called Pat's Live. So if you've been in the queue for longer than 10 minutes, Pat's Live picks up and all they do is take a name and number. There's no option, and then they email customer service. So there's no option for scheduling anything, any routine task. It's a one and done. You're most likely going to have to call back anyway. What this will do is this will open the door to handle basic tasks for people that are comfortable, using the AI. And by assigning that AI a phone number, instead of that having to be your own system, that's kind of how we figured out a way to kind of cheat the system, allow us to have a hybrid approach.
You know the questions? Right.
Can I say that just a little bit different? When you say give them their own phone number, I'd probably say give them their own extension.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling only one number into our system. But if they want to option out or go there that way directly, they'll have the ability to reach that extension within our system.
Yes, sir. And it will be a matter of the AI will be assigned an extension. That's a much better phrase than phone number, but the AI will be assigned an extension. That extension is not going to be something advertised that the customer has to enter in. It'll be something that automates transfer to this extension when you've been on the phone for too long. And then they can either deal with the AI or they can request to go right back to a human, and we go from there and then build off of that.
Can they punch in like 0 to go to a human?
Yeah, you'll be able to either ask or we'll program in a number. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the number one priority when we begun talks on this, that always, because I don't know about everybody else, but I hate getting stuck on the phone with a robot. Yeah, and human, back up. So what we're trying to do here is not replace the human touch, but for people that just need something basic, don't need to talk to anybody, just allow them, just give them that option. It's nice to have the option. Maybe I just want to report a missed can. I'll deal with the AI, but I'll always have the first option to deal with the human. Yeah, so that was actually my last slide, just to recap some of the things we're focusing on. Self-service options, whether it's an internal kiosk, online forms. We're just trying to reduce stress on the call center, give people more options to fulfill basic tasks. Data accuracy and trust. We're trying to clean up our database, get those addresses validated. That'll greatly, improve customer satisfaction, and internally it will greatly improve our GIS. We also have the MLS records tool, which we're developing, that'll allow for secure, accurate property information. We're looking for smarter insights, using AI internally to identify customer trends, be able to make data-driven decisions at will, stronger communication, a more modern communications platform with multi-channels, whether it's messaging or video chat or an all-in-one solution on that with the built-in AI assistance. And basically just have every design or project here, just trying to remove customer friction, build confidence in ECUA, and make all of our interactions faster, easier, and more transparent.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Anyway, great presentation. Thank you. So 2 questions, and I don't need just the condensed version of time frame on rollout per segment. I know like phase 1 is going to include XYZ, phase 2, phase 3, and approximately month's time, because I'm ready to advertise this on my next show. So just give me some, I'm not going to hold you to it, just ballpark.
For the mobile app, a safe time frame, I would say would be probably about 6 to 7 months.
Okay.
And that's probably the most exciting from a public point of view. The address validator and the Cognos AI is already implemented. The kiosk, we're kind of being held hostage by the billing provider. It takes time for them to develop
Sure.
that gateway for the credit card transaction. I would say 3 to 4 months on that. The communications platform is going to be sprinkled in. There's never going to be a full transition. It's just going to be sprinkled in, but that's really not anything the public would probably be interested in. But from a public perspective, I would say the most exciting thing would be the mobile app.
Right.
And I would say somewhere between 6 and 7 months. And then the chat bot's ready to go and the web forms are ready to go. We're working out some last minute kinks before we start really marketing those.
Okay, and then second question, yes, and you may have had it on there, but all in for a bulk pickup. I know you said like trash can, missed trash pickup, which is probably the most common call I get. So I do like the fact that they're going to be able to utilize this, and again, in this feature, FPL's done, as most members know, for years. If your power goes out, it tells you, hey, your power's gone out, and here's how many people in your area, blah, 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 that have it, and here's the anticipated time of having it turned back on. So that's great. I think a lot of folks are going to like that. On the missed garbage pickup, so I'm assuming you'll be able to put that in there, your address, and then it'll report back to you, okay, we're going to pick it up later on this afternoon or tomorrow, or hopefully it won't say next, your next garbage pickup, which would be next week, because I'll be getting a phone call, and then you'll be getting an email. So I was just curious.
Yeah.
And that, again, you may not have an answer for me, but what's going to be the standard operating procedure on, okay, we missed our can. Is this thing going to have all the information programmed into it to basically say, Mr. Smith or Jones will be out there tomorrow to come pick it up, or is it automatically going to say, okay, we'll pick it up the following Tuesday?
Well, so I don't want to step out of my lane here because
Okay.
that's really sanitation
You can say, I don't
operation.
know.
But I will say this, so from what I know right now is if you forget to put your can out,
Well, yeah, I'm not
they'll come the next
sure.
collection day, and if it was missed,
I thought I missed,
then
yeah.
they would get there in a more timely manner. But there will be conditional formatting with polygons on the GIS.
I'm just saying, will it update the client? Like, I'll get with Mr. Woody and staff on setting policy as far as that goes, but I'm just talking about, will the chat bot say, Mr. Smith or Jones, someone will be out there and XYZ. It's going to be real-time communication as far as I type in, Steven, blah, 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 missed my garbage today, and then it's going to reply back, thank you for receiving your message on it. Your anticipated pickup for your missed can will be X. Is it going to be something?
Yeah, there's already disclaimers on it, kind of giving you an idea of when to expect. And then we're also working on adding in messaging on the routing software. We've already completed the back leg of that by getting approved by the FCC. And
that would be great, is like
yeah.
your driver is on his way to come pick up your can.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're not ready to announce a release date, but we've already done the hard work on that. We got approved by the FCC as a spam or marketing. They're not going to blacklist us. We set up a messaging account. We have the software. But we're just working out some last minute kinks on that. So they'll get a message, there's a disclaimer on the form, but the exact time I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you because that's kind of out of my lane.
Don't need that, but again,
Yeah.
but it's interacting with the
Yep.
client, driver, and then we're going to phase 2, driver dispatched en route to you.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. That would be, okay, thank you.
Campbell, do you have any questions?
Yeah, your hardest thing's gonna get your people to use the app. Right? Well, mine too. But yeah, this is really great news. I really like it. So the mobile app will have the missed pickup and the bulk waste.
You'll be able to, for the automated request, it'll be available through the website, the chatbot, or the mobile app. It's already on the website and the chatbot.
Is there any way, so will we be phasing out Recycle Coach app,
I would
most likely?
say most likely.
So
Yeah.
can we, because I've gotten a lot of people on the Recycle Coach app, I actually do it for them, well, when we're at town halls. So can we, you'll let us know when the mobile app is going to replace the Recycle Coach app?
Oh, yeah,
Will there
definitely.
Can we put something on the Recycle Coach app to say, hey, this is going down, okay. Tommy's back there going, yeah,
Yep.
I got you. Okay, that's all I want, just want to,
Yeah, and all the
Move
stuff,
them to the right spot.
anything on Recycle Coach that you love, we'll surely transition it over because the new platform's all ours. We can develop it out exactly how we want. So if you see anything on there that you definitely want to bring over, definitely let us know.
probably, can I recycle this?
Okay.
This is great, though, I love it. Been asking for this for how many? So glad you're here,
Thank you.
Is that it, Ms. Campbell?
that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Yes,
Thank you,
Ms. Ritz.
Mr. Chairman. Way back when you were giving your presentation, my first thought was the current Recycle app, what's going to happen to it, and of course, you've answered some of that. How is the current one going to be transitioned into the new choice? The
So you-
current Recycle app, how will that one be transitioned into, will it disappear?
Well,
Or
we will
will I-
take the features we want to bring over, like if there's stuff on that app you want to see on the new app, we'll be able to transition those, and then we will have a graceful transition period where we will advertise, Recycle Coach is going away, ECUA is coming out with a fully branded custom app, so there'll be a grace period there, and we'll make sure everybody knows, and I'm sure Maria will play a big part in that, and pushing it out on social media and
Someone that doesn't use social media much, I'm concerned that I might need assistance on my phone to get the new one, because one of your staff in the past, who's no longer here, was very helpful in putting the Recycle Coach current model on my phone.
But-
He spent a good amount of time helping me get it on the phone.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm certain anybody on my staff will absolutely be willing to help you. And, if anybody needs help coming in and wants to get it set up while they're here paying their bill, we will certainly have no problem coming out and helping them. And we'll also find alternative ways to market this besides social media.
Newsletter.
Mhm.
Thank you for your time, and also, I see and hear a lot of cooperation for those that already have app. It has been very helpful. In fact, the other day I used it. My husband said, "Oh, this can be recycled." And I said, "Let me check." Wrong, it could not be recycled.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Again, we love the Recycle Coach app too, but we have a dire need for ratepayers to be able to make requests in a more efficient manner, and it just wasn't going to happen with Recycle Coach. Not fully, we needed a custom platform that we could develop. Recycle Coach was designed to give people recycling tips. It's a nationwide thing. It wasn't designed to be a platform for somebody to do their own thing. So that's really what we need. But we will certainly carry over all those features you love. To the new app.
I'll be giving you some information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, couple questions with so to get to these apps or to get to this AI format, I have to go to the website, or I'll make a phone call as I normally would, and AI will pick up and direct my information to the appropriate department or personnel, and they will then get the information on the queue, read it, and respond to it within less time than we normally are doing business?
Right. So starting out, once we build that core engine, the initial thought was to have it. That's why we assign it an extension. When somebody's in the queue, say longer than 10 minutes, we would transfer them to the AI and then have the AI offer assistance. Like, would you like me to take a message for you? Or I can also perform common tasks, or you can press 0 to go back to the queue and wait for a human. And then as far as the mapping of the information required, that will be built out in the background by us. So it'll be a voice to data, and then that data will match up with our SQL tables, and it will create the work order or any action that's needed. So that's for the phone call.
Okay.
Now for the chat bot, you'll just have a button on the web, basically. And you'll be able to do all the same things on the web page, but the chatbot is just more of an add-on. It's kind of like icing on the cake. It really doesn't do much more than what the website already does. It's just some people really like chatbots, and we were able to develop this in-house by our very talented, application support analysts. So it was free. So we just trying to add that icing on the cake.
Will they have the option for live chat?
Live chat with a human?
Yes.
Not through the chatbot, but the chatbot's more designed to be a controlled knowledge base that immediately answers questions. We could potentially down the road try to incorporate, if we see a lot of, well, that's one of the great things about having this built in-house. All that data that's captured when somebody puts something into that chatbot is ours. We'll be able to analyze that data. So if we see that people are requesting to chat with a human, we'll be able to notice that trend and then develop that out.
And maybe it's not necessary. I've just had.
But no, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, the experience where they give you that option.
Mm-hmm. It's a long hold usually, yeah.
Okay, you kept talking about bulk pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have a large day of many people wanting bulk pickup, are we going to be able to respond on that day? Then they might have a day where there's quite a few bulk item pickup that come in. And so will sanitation be able to get that information and respond in time, or what's the good of the information if the response is not improved? That's really what I'm asking.
Well, a couple things there. So I'd say first off, I would say it's easier on the customer to request that bulk pickup by just filling out a form instead of having to call the call center. And then on ECUA's end, they're really not going to know the difference as far as sanitation. That work order is going to be put in their queue or printed. So they're not going to know if that work order came from the call center or if it came from the form. Because the work order the process is seamless, so there's no middleman. When you fill out that form for the bulk request, it's going to auto print to sanitation's queue. Now, some of those operators out there run off a digital Excel dashboard, and eventually we're going to get them turned over to the Cognos dashboard, and they're working digitally. Other ones still prefer the printout, so they have that option. But either way, when it hits submit, it's going to go straight into that queue.
Okay. I see no more lights. So we want to thank you for your presentation and bringing us forward into the 21st and forward of that century. And we look forward to utilizing technology.
Yes, sir.
And helping the customers. and staff, so thank you.
All right, thank you.
That was one of my questions on my list too, so very good. And did Mr. Morzin have anything, or were you able to hear the presentation? Okay. Okay, I saw him nodding his head, yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Now we're on, going forward to F, which is the approval of our minutes. I've got to go back. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of CSC for September 16, 2025? Am I not seeing it? So you say. Well, why is that, man? But you know what? I don't want to throw this. Second.
Somebody's working on it.
Okay.
Okay, it was moved by Mr. Kimball and seconded by Mr. Brown.
Okay, very good. For the approval of our regular scheduled CIC meeting on September 16th, 2025. Mr. Woody.
Just a brief follow-up. Dr. D'Annunzio asked a question at our previous meeting. Well, we were discussing the annual write-off of customer accounts that we do. I provided this in information to the board members in a board report, but I hadn't had an opportunity for the CAC members. The dollar amount we're talking about for writing off last year was $945,281, and Dr. D'Annunzio's question, well, how many customer accounts does that represent? That's 4,075 accounts. You divide those numbers one into the other, that's an average of $232 per account. Obviously, it's not actually an average, but gives you an idea of the scope and magnitude of the write-off.
Very good. Any other questions before we vote? Okay, please vote. Let's see. Okay, see, we see it. Thank you. And it passes by a vote of 11-0. Thank you. Now we want to proceed to the adoption of our general resolution. General Resolution GR 25-134. A general resolution authorizing the payment of the maintenance contract with Tyler Munoz for software support from 10/1/25 to 9/30/2026. Mr. Woody, you want to amplify on that?
This proposed resolution is for executing a maintenance contract with Tyler Munoz. Tyler Munoz is our primary software that we use for accounting and financial support. That contract allows for one-year extensions to extend maintenance with this company. They provide resource planning that integrates all of our financial functions, general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, budgeting, fixed assets, all into a single system. So it's the main system we use for our financial software. So this next year, maintenance would be $217,759.
Okay, which is,
Just showing that last whereas.
which is a 5% increase from the previous?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mrs. Ritz, do you have a question?
Yes, I have two. I noticed on the, as I say, reading the fine print, that I came across something that I was wondering about. It said they want ECOA to order checks from them to guarantee compliance with the software. And I wondered if that was being done and how it's working out.
I'm sorry, where are you reading? I'm not sure that I'm following your question.
Ms. Ritz,
Yes?
give me one moment, please. Let me do this in the proper order.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Let me ask for a motion to approve the general resolution, and then we'll follow that up with a discussion. Let me have if there is a motion, Mr. Perkins moves it, Mr. Kimball seconds it, that we approve the general resolution number GR 25-134. I will ask if there are any comments for discussion, and Ms. Ritz, you're recognized.
I was wondering if ordering checks from the Tyler business guaranteed compliance with their software, and I wondered if that was ironclad request, and if they weren't ordered, something that I had seen.
Was that, if I can help?
Compliance with their software.
If I can help Mr. Woody answer, was that for all the ECUA customers to order checks?
No, I think strictly within the business being conducted, minus customers.
Employees and staff?
If, I would say whatever, help me out there, it would be businesses
Oh, businesses.
that
Okay,
you
external
do business
to.
with.
Okay,
In other
external
words,
to.
the Tyler business form, guarantee compliance with software.
You're recognized.
I guess I'm not really understanding
Okay.
the question. That
On the form, or I should say on their PO numbers, one of them referenced okay, at the bottom of their invoice, in the box highlighted in the lower left, technically page 10 of 20. Attention, order your checks and forms from Tyler Business Forms number or tylerbusinessforms.com to guarantee 100% compliance with your software. I noticed it was in a corner that you don't normally see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's.
wondered why it was on the invoice.
I think that's just a little marketing reminder or whatever from Tyler. We can order our check stock from anywhere. We actually do order it from Tyler. We order our forms from Tyler, but
Thank you.
I think that's just a marketing thing from them. I mean, there are places that you can order those from, because we order it's a blank check stock and everything's printed on there. That's just their little marketing thing saying, hey, make sure you buy them from us to make sure that works whenever you go to print the check, that it comes out.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Very good attention to detail, Mrs. Okay, and are there any other questions? If there are no more questions, then please vote. Thank you. And it passes by a vote of 11 to 0. So we're proceeding to our informational reports, and you'll find those in the back of your packet for water production and water reclamation for the month of August 2025. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? No unfinished business. We'll proceed to new business. Is there any new business? No new business. We will proceed to committee communications. Are there any committee communications? Ms. Campbell, you recognize?
I know I got some prayers in this room. I'd like y'all to add my husband to your prayer list.
Okay. I didn't bring my camera, my phone with me today. Usually what I would do is I would go and get the dates of birthdays of our ECUA employees. So not knowing the dates or the names, I generally would like to recognize those who are celebrating a birthday for the month of October for ECUA staff and employees. So no names, but to all, happy birthday. Now we're approaching our final open forum. I see no pink forms, so we will move to adjournment. And do I have a motion? Who's the fastest? This is the race of the day. Mr. Kimball, followed by Mrs. Campbell. Nothing else, please. And they've already voted, most of them have. Okay, I see the vote has voted to adjourn, and so I will comply. I see Mrs. Ritz and Mr. Stevens waiting to. Ritz, did you vote? Yes, you did. Well, maybe he doesn't want to leave. Maybe he doesn't want to go.
I just want to keep everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just,
He likes long meetings.
Thought this was controversial, didn't you?
Yeah.
He didn't want you to beat me.
Vote no.
Yeah. And that is true. We just need a vote on unanimous. Okay, so we vote to adjourn by unanimous vote. This meeting is officially adjourned.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
As you know, we have some training on the new software that'll immediately follow. Let's take a quick 10-minute break with your permission. Restrooms are just down the hall. If you go to the end of the hall and turn a little bit to the right, you can get some water, some sweets, some cookies and odds and ends to occupy your 10 minutes, and then be back in 10 minutes. We'll begin the training.
Okay, so we do have, and everybody